Hello sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Moose Franchise. So we have officially completed the regular season of Season 2, but the bad news is we were not very good. We went, I believe, 13-19. Yeah, 13-19, we finished last in our division, and we were worst in the Western Conference, and we missed the playoffs. So that is unfortunate. So what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be playing through the offseason. We'll sim all the playoff games, and hopefully improve our teams so we can get back to the playoffs next season. But we'll start things off by starting the playoffs. And we can't sign or release any players, but that's fine. But we missed the playoffs. Oh, wow. Like we didn't already know that. But we will take a look at the standings and see who did make the playoffs. We had, obviously, 4 teams from each conference. We had 3 teams from the Legend Division. The Empire at 22-10, which was tied for the best record in the league. The Originators and Memo Tanks as well. And then the Sirloins got that second seed winning our division. What was a very competitive, not great division, with the winner just barely over 500. And then in the Eastern Conference, the Heaters got the 1 seed at 22-10. The Jacks, the 2 seed. Hot Corners, the 3 seed. And the Freebooters were the 4 seed. And we were tied for the second worst team in our league. The only team worse, we were the tied for third worst. The B-Wolves and Buzzards were 11 games and 12 games, or 12 wins. But we were not very good. But we will take a look at our stats from Season 2. Hope we're not looking at playoff stats. So, Jada Christian was a leadoff hitter for some of the season. Kingsley Jones was the other one. But Christian, first year on the team, just 19 years old. Pretty solid year. 301 batting average, 4 homers, 20 RBIs. Definitely thought she could have been better, especially in the power category. The homers, just 4 homers, was not great. But she was pretty good. So 6 bases as well, which led the team. Also 11 walks led the team. Then Rock Casey, he was amazing. He had 384, led the team in homers, tied for first in RBIs as well with Rip Dingers. He was insane. OPS over 1.1. He was just insane like usual. And if we compare that to last year, he was equally as good last year. He went with 12 homers and a 370 average, but he is absurdly good. Rip Dinger is another good year. He was tied for the team lead in homers and RBIs with Rock Casey. Average was pretty good as well. He did strike out 30 times, which was the most on the team, but still a really good player. Nacho Crisp didn't have his best year, just 4 homers after having like 12 last year. 14 last year. So definitely a step down for him, but I still think he was solid, especially in the second half of the year. Buck Swiner had an okay year. 5 homers, 17 RBIs, 277 average. Is pretty solid, but nothing amazing. Kingsley Jones was pretty disappointing. He hit 294, which is not terrible, but with just 1 homer, 6 RBIs. Last year, it wasn't great with 3 homers, 10 RBIs, but I really had high expectations for him coming into the season because he was so good in the playoffs last year. 12 games, 61 at-bats. He hit 639 with 7 homers and 24 runs batted in. Just for this year, he had 1 homer in 30 games, 29 games to be exact. And he's now hit 4 homers in 56 regular season games and 7 homers in 12 playoff games. So I don't know how that makes sense, but hopefully he can refine his playoff form in the regular season. Then Perry Quaker had some power with 5 homers, but the 221 average was not very good. Nixon was pretty good, although I do wish he had a few more homers. And Stallion Johnson was honestly terrible. He hit 207, no homers, just drove in 2 runs. He was not good. And I would not be shocked if we end up moving on from him in the offseason. Roman Rhodes was a decent backup catcher, hit 333 with a few homers. Reese Sandoval only hit 167, but only had 48 at-bats. Henzo Magica was pretty good. Volt Bolter, just 6 at-bats all year. And he did not see much playing time. And then we got our pitchers who really cares what they did as a hitter. Then pitching stats, Jared Payne was great once again, as usual. He led us in innings pitched with 47.2. He had an unreal ERA 2.64, which is actually even better than he had last year. But he struck out 48 batters, walked just 10 all year. He was so good. Rhiannon Cannon, on the other hand, was terrible. An 8.92 ERA, 37 innings, opponent average of 345, struck out just 33. If you compare her stats from last year to this year, it is a major drop-off. It was terrible. And we have a decision to make about her. She's 33. She'll be 34 next year. And after a bad year, I wouldn't be shocked if we got rid of her as well. And I'm definitely considering it. Royal Strikes, he had a nice year. Ended not finishing the year on the best note. He had a great start to the year. 6.09 ERA is not great. But Swirly Cutstiff, she had a really nice year. I know an ERA about 6 is not great either. But I thought she played pretty well. And pitched pretty well. Especially when you compare it to what she did last year. The innings are up this year. The strikeouts are up. The walks are up. But that's okay. Even though don't want to be doing that. But the home runs allowed are down. The whip is down. ERA is down. Very good year for Swirly Cutstiff. And I think she can be headed in the right direction. Farmhand, a solid year, despite still not being very good. Charlie Best didn't have his insane numbers, but I still think he had a pretty good year. Jeff Reardon, a good year as well. Jackson Wilkinson wasn't amazing. Wasn't terrible. And Qualis, again, we didn't use a ton, but he was pretty good. But that is what our stats look like from Season 2. And we'll also take a look at the league leaders from the regular season. Rock Casey and Rip Dingers end up tied for first in homers and RBIs. Rock Casey is third in the league in batting average at 384. Edgar Martinez led the league at 407. Rock Casey also leads the league in slugging percentage and OPS. He was fifth in on-base percentage. Dingers bottom of the top 10 slugging percentage as well. Rock Casey also led the league in hits and extra base hits. And Buck Swanner, well, he struck out a lot. Also, apparently, Rip Dingers didn't lead our team in strikeouts. That would have been Buck Swanner. But don't really want to see somebody on the strikeouts leaderboard. And the run scorer, Jada Christian, Rock Casey, both tied for third with 25. And we don't have any guys on the stolen bases or caught stealing leaderboard. Pitching, actually no guys on this first screen here. ERA wins or saves. Jared Payne was 6th in the league with 48 strikeouts. And Jeff Reardon was 4th in strikeouts per 9. Cannon actually on there in walks per 9. And Reardon on there in strikeout to walk ratio. But that is also what the league leaders looked like here from our second season. But we've got CPU games to sim. I don't know if we sim all these games. I think that's probably going to mean we just sim the entire postseason. 28 games. Yeah, I think so. So we'll just skip all these. Yeah, that's the entire thing. So the Jacks end up winning the league. They play a 5-game series in all 3 of their series. The first round, second round, and the championship. They beat the Memo Tanks in the final, who beat the 1-seed Empire in the first round in 5 games. And then beat the Sirloins. And we saw the 1-seed Heaters. Well, the 1-seed got knocked out in the first round in both sides. The Heaters got swept. And the Empire lost in 5 games. But that is what the playoff bracket looks like. Hopefully we can be back in the playoffs next year. But we will advance to a player re-signing. And we'll see what these players want. So if you guys don't know how the offseason works, you have to re-sign every player at either their current salary or their asking salary. And really it's based on their loyalty. So see Roman Rhodes, he wants $7.8 million as opposed to his current salary of 5.5 because the loyalty is only 14. But we're going to go through every player. We've got to go through everybody. And let's see who we want to get back. Pedro Nixon, his salary is going to stay the same, so we will bring him back. Roman Rhodes, I don't even know if we want to bring him back. I mean, he had a pretty solid year we just talked about, but definitely not giving him his $7.8 million. Maybe we'll give him 5.5, but we'll see. Jones needs to be better, but we'll bring him back at $9.1 million. Quaker, I guess we'll bring him back. I'm not going to do that yet, though. Casey will stay at 12.9, which is good. I'm glad he doesn't get more expensive, because he definitely could ask for more money, because we just saw he's one of the best players in the league, but we will bring him back easily at $12.9 million. Same thing with Rip Dingers. We'll hold off on Sandoval for a second. Nacho Chris will bring back for 8.3. Oh, Buck Swanner, man, 8.6. He is a good player, but I don't know if we want to increase his salary by that much. Stallion Johnson, Absolutely not. No way am I paying him $10 million. I don't even want to give him 7 with how bad he was this year. Christian? Oh, man, that's tough. She's so young, just 19. Do I want to give her 12.5? It's only 0.4 lower than Casey? Not really. That's a decision. Bolter's not retiring, despite being 39. That's a little surprising. Jerry Payne, I wish we can get him a little cheaper, but we'll re-sign him at 17.4 because the guy is absurdly good. Cannon, hold off for now. Strikes, we're going to offer him his current salary. He's got a 94% chance to re-sign at his current rate, and he says he's agreeable. So hopefully that ends up being the case. We'll try to get him back for 7.6. And Raw Strikes is accepting the offer. Let's go. Swirly Cutstiff. Oh, man. Her loyalty's pretty good, but still wants a raise. Like, quite a bit. That is, what, $1.4 million? We're not going to give that to her. She is young, just 22, and very good. Or pretty good, at least. B+. Has some trouble with control, but still a very good player. But, man, I'm not sure. We'll hold off on that for now. Best, we're to bring back a 14.9. Reardon at 10.5. He's old. We're going to offer him his current salary and not give him the extra 2.1. There's only a 50-50 chance of him re-signing, so I'm not too surprised if he says no. But let's see here. Reardon is not going to re-sign. He declines and leaves the team. He's our first player we have to bring back. Wilkinson will bring back a 5.9, even though he wasn't that great. And then across the game, Loyalty's not very good at just 69, but he's fine with the $8.2 million we're currently paying him. So now let's go back, and Roman Rhodes, we're going to offer 5.5. Maybe we get rid of him in the offseason, and we just go find somebody better because he's just not that great, but we're going to offer him. I wouldn't be shocked if he says no like Reardon, but we'll offer him his current salary. I think he's probably going to say no. And he's going to begrudgingly accept the offer. Quaker, we'll bring him back. Again, we might get rid of him in the offseason, but we'll see. Sandoval, we're going to try to get him back at his current salary. I think we should be able to do that considering he's at 92%. I'd be pretty surprised if he says no. And he instantly accepts the offer. Hanzo Magiko, he's a super utility guy. Him and Sandoval kind of play the same role. Magiko's the better fielder, Sandoval the better hitter. We'll bring Magiko back at 7.5, but I would not be shocked, again, if we make a move and replace him. Swiner, oh man. Swiner is so tough, because he's good. 73 power, good fielder. He's good. Was okay this year, not amazing. Let's try to get him back at his current salary. Only 64%. We're taking a chance. And Swiner eventually accepts the offer. Okay, that's what I'm happy about. Johnson, I might just let him go. But we'll offer him his current. He'll probably say no. He does say no. He scornfully declines. Jada Christian, oh man. I don't want to be spending more money than we need to. She's at 94%. So you know what? Let's give her her current salary, but I really want to get her back at just 19 years old. Please come back. No! Oh, no! Jada Christian's leaving the team. She was like our second best position player. At A-, just 19. She's going to want like $30 million too. Oh, man. Bolter will bring back a 4.3. Cannon. Again, maybe we move on from her, but we'll bring it back for now. Cutstiff, we're going to try to get back at her current salary. 78% is not amazing, but hopefully she'll come back. And she instantly accepts. Yeah, Christian won't. And Farmhand, we'll try to get him back at his current salary of 2.5. And Felix Farmhand eagerly accepts the offer. Alright, so we've got 3 players who are going to be needing to be replaced. I am not opposed to bringing back Jada Christian. I'll say that right now. If we can get Jada Christian back for maybe $12 million, I would do that. But we will start the offseason here. We've got $30 million in cap space, needing to replace 3 players. It's about an average of 10 per player, 10 million per player. And also hoping to have some left over because we want to have some for development funds. But let's see. Oh my. Elmo Slayer wants $38.4 million. That's a lot of money. A lot of players. Wow, Guns Jackman, Sawteeth player, just saw that. Retiring at age 34. We're not going to go through all these. Just scroll through. If you guys want to pause and look at these, feel free. Really not that many retirees. But now, if you guys don't know how the offseason works, you have 32 rounds, and you really don't start seeing players get signed to, like, round 10 to 12, maybe even later, because nobody can afford to pay them $38 million. Alright, so we just went back and looked at the video from the first offseason. The first time we saw the CPU make a signing was round 10. So that'll kind of be our ballpark. We'll try to wait till around like 8, 9, maybe 10 to really go after somebody. But let's just see who is available. We've got some insane players. That is a lot of really good players asking for a lot of money. Oh my, that is a lot of players, A- or better. That's a lot of talent. Let's see, Elmo Slayer is the guy who wants the most money. He is one of 2 S-rated players, right? 2? Yeah, one of 2 S-rated players who are available. The cheapest player right now is 0.8, which makes sense when you're 34 years old and a D+. But let's see who we want to go try to get. Jada Christian, I just want to see what she's asking for. 23.9. Oh, man. We'll put her on the watch list, so they'll notify you when they've adjusted their asking salary. Who are some of these young, really good players? Because that's just the way they do rookies. All these 19-year-olds are rookies. There's no draft. They just put players into the free agent pool. So Bryce Ramirez is an A- reliever who wants $28.3 million, which is an absurd amount to give to a reliever, or anybody. But he's really good, so we're going to try to see if we can get one of these young guys. And let's see, they all look pretty good. But as I scroll through, I see Hack Weiner not wanting a ton of money at 18.3. That is nothing compared to Elmo Slayer at 38. $20 million difference. Ron Guidry, 25 years old, wanting just 12.5. Let's watch him. Right now, I'm looking for guys who are good that are not asking for a insane amount. But all these guys want a large sum of money. It's not. Oh, wow, okay. This is one to keep an eye on. Bevis Ortiz. He's 30 years old. He's pretty good. 63 velocity, 60 junk, 63 accuracy. Kind of fast as well with 65 speed, which is like flying for a pitcher. He spent his first 2 years with the B-Wolves, a career ERA of 4.6 and 62 2/3 innings. He could be a addition to this rotation. Want to keep an eye on him. All these players are still pretty expensive. And we're getting down to the players who are B-rated, so not even that good. Ruby Green, first baseman. Don't really need a first baseman, but pretty cheap. Center fielder Fungo Akuro. 90 contact, 75 speed. Just $7.8 million asking salary. He's been with the Wildwoods the past couple years. Career 300 hitter. Not much power. Just 3 homers, which makes sense when you have 42 power, but he's one to maybe keep an eye on. Thurman Colt, another center fielder, although he's a little bit older at 34. do want to look at the pitchers real quick. So we've got some really good ones here. But I would like to upgrade our starting rotation, because Cannon, obviously, we don't know what's going on with her. I wouldn't hate moving Cutstiff to the bullpen. We got to bring back, or replace Reardon. So we've got some thinking of how we want to do things. I wouldn't be opposed to getting rid of Roman Rhodes and getting another catcher. We've got a lot of things we can do, but first thing we're going to do is we're just going to move on to round 2 and see how much some of these guys lower their asking salary by. So as expected, nobody makes a transaction. And Jada Christian lowers their asking salary by almost $4.1 million. And now if you look at the free agent pool, Elmo Slayer lowered his by $8 million. So they lower by quite a bit, especially at first. But for the first 10 or so rounds, it's still way too expensive. But I do just want to filter this by position. And we'll see if there's anybody we want to really go after. Jacques Austin is so good. He's old, but I don't think we're going to get him because he's just really expensive. But he's a really good player. We'll watch him, and if he gets cheap enough, maybe we make the move. Alright, still nothing really too interesting here in round 2. We're going to sim to round 3. Again, no transactions made. Jada Christian's salary keeps going down, as does everybody else's. Added a couple more guys to our watch board. But I was looking at a couple players that have added to our watch list. Jada Christian honestly might be my favorite target at center field. She's so good. I want her back. And I would love to be able to get her back, but we'll see if we can actually do that. But added Bryce Ramirez to our watch list just to see if he gets any cheaper at all, because if we can match him with Charlie Best out of the pen, that might be the greatest bullpen of all time. Talk about Ortiz, a very solid player at just $10.6 million right now, which is already cheaper than Rion and Cannon. Another player added to our watch list. We talked about Okoro already. Added this 19-year-old center fielder, Javier Lancaster. I don't think he's as good as Christian, which makes a lot of sense considering he's only a B, Christian's an A-, but I don't think he's a bad option if you're looking for a young player to play center field. He's not as powerful, but got better contact, good speed, solid in the field, but nothing amazing. So I added him to the watch list. Emilio Adoya is a guy, very interesting. He's very similar to to Hanzo Magiko. We're not actually going to do this right now, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Because both our utility guys can play every position, but Adoyo's got the utility trait, meaning he will not be penalized when playing out of position, whereas Hanzo Magiko is a little bit. But they both got good fielding, good arm, pretty fast, and neither is really exceptional at the plate, so why not save a few $1 million there? Get a guy who's not going to get penalized for playing out of position in the field. Might make that move. Not yet. Want to see if Doyle gets cheaper, but would not hate that. And I'm considering that. He's the guy I wanted to talk about. And I don't know if we've got anybody else on our board. Not at the moment. But we're just going to sim to round 3 and see what else happens. Again, no transactions made. Jada Christian is, again, down 1.4. Down to 16.1 million. And we're just going to sim to round 5 and then we'll check just to see what salaries are. Again, no transactions. Ron Guidry's down to 10.9 mil. Let's take a look at some guys right now. Never Walker and Slayer, the two S-rated players, way down to the low 20s. So a lot of these guys are becoming a lot more affordable, and I think it's time we really take a look and think hard about if we want to bring in any of these guys. Like Gasher Morris. $12.2 million is still very expensive, but he's good. I'm going to add him to our watch list. Like, a lot of these guys are getting in the more affordable range. Like, still not necessarily, I would call it affordable, but I wouldn't be shocked to see somebody go pay $15 million for some of these guys. But Ron Guidry, he is a really interesting one. I would not hate bringing him in for Cannon. Maybe even a farmhand or a cut stiff. Although I do want to keep cut stiff because she's been on the rise. But it's worth keeping an eye on. We were paying Jada Krishna 11.8 last year. So if we want to save money, we're going to wait for her to get down to that. Well, I'm not sure if we're going to bring her back yet. It's going to depend on the money, because I would love to bring her back. But still pretty expensive for a lot of these guys. Just going to filter the buy overall and see if there's any guys who are really affordable at the moment. But it doesn't really look like it. A lot of these guys still well over 15. And these guys are all so very expensive. This guy Buzz is a little bit cheaper, but still no. One caster at 11.8. Alright, so that's the price we paid for Christian last year. Nowhere are we giving that to one caster who's nowhere near as good, but we do know we will save money if we bring him in. But yeah, all these guys still pretty expensive. Although we do have a group down here at about 7 mil. A little bit more affordable. And I'm just going to take another look at the pitchers. I just want to filter them by position here and see if there's any relievers that are looking good that we might want to target to replace Jeff Reardon, who right here is asking for $13 million. I'll add him to our watch list. He's another guy I'm not opposed to bringing back. But I do think he's pretty good. Very well-rounded with velocity, junk, and accuracy. Yeah, these relievers don't look great right now. Reardon, honestly, is the most well-rounded one. That's not one of these guys who are insanely expensive. Like Raleigh Overo, that's a great name for a reliever. He's really good, but wants $17.4 million. But we're going to continue to sim to the next round. Again, no transactions made. Christian's down to 14.5. Gonna go to the next round as well. Again, no transactions. And now we'll check this again, just to see how the sours are looking. Morris down to 11.6. To put that into perspective, we're playing Charlie Best 14.9. So if we can get Morris down to about 8-9 million, we're going to make that move and bring him in for Reardon, because he's really good. He throws hard. He's a specialist as well. The only thing is he is another lefty. And I mean, I would prefer to have an elite right-handed reliever, because Best is already a lefty, but if you can just have two guys who are just absurdly good, that is, I'll take that any day of the week. Christian's down at 13.9. Ron Guidry's a guy who's getting into the range I'm definitely considering making the move for, because he's getting down to about 10 million. The only question becomes, what do we do? Because do we cut Cannon? I don't necessarily know if I want to do that. I don't think I want to cut Strikes. I want to keep cut Stiff. If we cut Farmhand, we're losing a lot of money, because he's only getting paid $2.5 million. And then we have the problem that, do we go with a 5-man rotation? Do we move cut Stiff and Farmhand to the bullpen? Even though Farmhand already pitches out of the bullpen. I don't really know what we would do in that situation if we bring in another starter reliever. So that's kind of the reason I'm shying away from Guidry at the moment, but he's getting in the affordable range. Bryce Ramirez, oh man, down to 12.7. Alright, I'll say with him too, if he can get down to the Jeff Reardon range, about 8-9 million. We're going to make that move. Ortiz is someone getting on the affordable side. Reardon, 11.5. The salary is looking a lot better. Fungo Okoro down at 6.9 million. Longcaster's at 10.6. I don't really want to bring him in to be our center fielder. He's just not great, but not a terrible, like, third option, I guess. If our top guys end up not signing there. Adoyo keeps getting cheaper, and I think we're going to make this move at some point. Yes, we're losing a little bit in the field, but if we think about it, are we really? Because Magiko's got the penalty when he plays out of position, so when he doesn't play shortstop. Adoyo doesn't, because of the utility trait. Or actually, he'll have minus 50%. As opposed to no penalty. But we're still not losing that much in the field, because Magiko's got the penalty for playing out of position. But yeah, a lot of these guys are looking a lot more affordable. Gonna sim to the next round. Again, no transactions made. And now we start to see them lower their salary by just a little bit. Often goes down by 300k. Morris by 200. Christian by 600. Alright. I do want to see hers go down a lot more. We're still in a pretty good spot. Nobody's gotten any of the players we wanted yet. And that is still the case. We've now moved on to round 9. So right now, Jada Christian, 12.8 million. That is $1 million more expensive than we had her last year. So again, gonna hold off a little bit. Although now we're getting into that dangerous area where this is right around where these teams start to make moves. Now, a lot of these teams still wait till the mid-teens to make moves, but the teams who have money to spend and are not afraid to use it will start going here to round 10. So if we really want a player, we might want to make sure we get him now, but I'm okay waiting right now, just seeing how things play out. Okay, no transactions made. Ramirez is down to 11 million. Lancaster's near 9. Morris at 11.1. Christian at 12.5. Reardon's under 10. Do we want to wait another round? I don't want to be not able to get the guys we want, but I'm honestly okay waiting. Just to see how things play out. But at the same time, I also don't want to wait too long and have all these elite players be off the board. But I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Still no transactions made in round 10. Ramirez is now down to 10.7. Christian down to 12.2. And even if we sign some of these guys for slightly over what we really want to sign them for, we can always just go play around with what we have. Like, if we want to go release Magiko to save money like I've talked about, or if we want to... Really, whatever. But we can kind of try to play around with some of these and see if we can get them cheaper or whatever. So we can have a little bit of surplus and get development funds. Because I've talked about this before. The amount of development funds you have, or the amount of development funds you get per game is based on the amount of salary cap you have. Which obviously right now we get $1 million per game, but we're also not going to have $30 million in salary cap after the offseason. Alright, so we move on. Round 12. Okay, there's some signings. Elmo Slayer, 20.3. Jackie Slam at 17 million. Seymour Sox might be the most random player ever, with a very strange name, but to get signed this early. The Hot Corners signed Ruby Green. Mike Napoli gets signed. Buttons Bunterson. There's Jock Sports. Neverwalker. Okay, there goes Ron Guidry, but we get another player who's available. So 10 transactions get made by other teams. So I told you about round 12, and that is about what we see. So if we want players, we might want to go get them now. What's Jada Christian looking like? Morris a 10-8. That is very similar. No, it's not quite similar to Reardon. We might make that move, though. Oh, Christian at 11-9. Do we want to wait another round? It's $100,000. I don't care. Jada Christian is the best option we're going to have at center field. She's back on the team. So that is our first signing of free agency. We re-signed Jada Christian for an extra $100,000, which, whatever. But I'm very glad we can get her back. As far as anybody else right now that we really want to go after, Morris at 10.8. We're going to wait a little bit longer, even though he is, what is that, the 5th best available player? But we can now unwatch. Where's the center fielder? Here we go, Okoro. Because we just got our center fielder. One caster we're going to unwatch as well. And then Adoyo. I don't really know how many teams are going to be interested in him. So we might just let him get down to like 2 million. The only thing is, oh, there's a lot of players who got that infield, outfield role. I mean, they're all not great in the field, but Adoyo. Oh, Flash Leather is a great name for a utility man. Let's watch him too. Why not? So it'll be Adoyo or Leather. That is an unreal name. Who will sign for Hanzo Miyiko. But we're going to move on to the next round here. And let's see. How many signings? 7. Ace Von Ason gets signed for $17 million. Reardon's still available. Dolph Steak gets signed. Beefcake McStevens to the Wild Pigs. Morris is still available at 10.7. We definitely see some really good players get signed here. I think I'm okay moving on to the next round. Although we do have an interesting decision to make here. We kind of need a starting right fielder. Because Stallion Johnson played right field for us. Not at a very high level, but he played right field. So we do kind of need to find someone to play right field. Maybe it's a Volt Bolter, but the guy can't really hit. So maybe it's Reese Sandoval was our everyday right fielder, although I wouldn't love the idea of that. So we kind of do need to look for right fielders. So maybe I shouldn't have unwatched some of those that one outfielder. We want to bring him in to play right. So now that I actually think about that, I'm going to go look for some right fielders. Alright, so a few players I've put to our board. Stallion Johnson, I'm going to watch him. I don't want to bring him back, though. I mean, technically he is a little bit more expensive than he was last year right now, but I just don't want to bring him back. He's young, sure, but the guy's just not that good. He's only fast. That's pretty much it. Can't really hit, can't really field. Not a great combo. I've added Javier to our board. He's really good, but really expensive. Lester Bronco's on the expensive side as well, but a very good player at the plate. Gary is Mason, just 19 years old. He's a super utility guy, can play every position. Got a really good arm. Contact's not great, but power and speed are good. He could be good for us. And that is all the outfielders I've added to our board right now. But we're going to keep waiting for a second. We'll advance to round 14. And just 2 transactions get made. Angel Carouse. So the Wild Pigs. That is a good player. 98 power, 97 contact to the B-Wolves. That's pretty good. Let's check this here. Gasher Morris at 10.6. We paid Reardon 8.4. I'll hold off on him for now. Punchy Patterson. Good starting pitcher. Let's watch her. Not super expensive. I'm not cheap, but not super expensive. But Ramirez down at 9.9. Oh, man. We might bring him in. We might do it. Bryce Ramirez, 19 years old. Really good velocity. He's a fastball, slider, changeup. Junk could be a little better, but he throws hard. Got good accuracy. We might do it. It'll be a $1.5 million salary difference. Maybe we'll wait for a little bit longer. I don't know. Reardon's still available, 8.8, which is very similar to what we paid him last year. Bronco's available, a little over 10. Don't want to give him that. Johnson at 7.7. Mason's available at 7.2, but want to wait for him to get a lot cheaper. Let's just check these two super utility guys real quick. They're probably very cheap at the moment. Adoyo's down at $4 million. And Flash Weather is down at 4.3. So we're going to continue to wait. And here is some transactions. A lot of them, actually. Javi Yadder to the Empire. 17 transactions made by other teams. Alright, there, Gasser Morris. There's Punchy Patterson to a division rival, of course. The Empire signed Hack Weiner. Riley Overall to the Platypi. So does Jeff Bagwell. Oh, Bryce Ramirez. No, again to a division rival. Oh, stupid nemesis. Well, looks like it might be Jeff Reardon back on the team. Alright, let's see. We just lost some good players we wanted. Bronco down to 9.9. We might bring him in. Max Texas is kind of cheap. He's old, but is he a better option than Reardon? That's interesting. He's cheaper than Reardon. And honestly, might be a little better. So if we're going to go with an old reliever, maybe it's Max Texas, although he's another lefty. I don't really know if Adoyo is going to go any lower than 4. So we're going to make the move here. Adoyo for Magiko. Losing a little bit of contact and power. 5 speed and a little bit in the field, but we're gaining some money. And if we get somebody cheaper than Adoyo, we can always just sign him and release Adoyo. We're going to make that move. And I think that makes a lot of sense. As far as relievers go, Steamboat Wissell is really good. Also really expensive. We'll watch Winnie Noel as well. And Kyra Lee. Ortiz, we might make the move. Is it Ortiz for Cannon straight up? Maybe. Let's save some money. They're pretty similar players overall. Not sure on that yet. But again, I don't want to wait too long. But we're going to wait a little bit longer. And let's see what we've got here. Another 17 transactions by other teams. There's Lester Bronco to the Originators. Greg Vaughn gets released for Kitty Kaufman. Alright, there's Winnie Noel to another... Oh, why are division rivals signing everybody good? Hopefully nobody too good. Got signed. We still got some options here. Yeah, we still got some options. Now halfway through the offseason. Just wanted to update you guys on Hanzo Magiko. He comes in the market asking for $15.1 million. So, that's quite a bit of money for him. We might bring in Darius Mason to play right field, especially after Lester Broncos signed. We might bring in Mason to play right field. He is a little bit cheaper than Johnson was last year. The only problem is we want two players who are really young in the outfield, with Christian and Mason, who are similar skill set wise as well. Both good power, fast. Maybe we do, honestly, because Mason, he can play every position as well. We're going to do it. We're going to bring him in for Stallion Johnson. So we're going to make that move. I think he adds a lot more to this team than Stallion Johnson ever would. And the final move we're also going to make right here. We're going to replace an old reliever with another one. And we're going to make this move. We're upgrading 15 velocity. Pretty much staying the same in junk. And we are losing a little bit in accuracy, which could be a problem with walks, but actually, I just want to see what Max Texas numbers look like. Yeah, the guy's good. He's got a 4 ERA. A lot of strikeouts. Walks are a little high. And he's a lefty, but we're gonna make that move. He's gonna come in for Jeff Reardon. So that is what the team looks like at the moment. It's not set in stone. This is what the team will look like. I would not be opposed to adding a starting pitcher. I would not be opposed to getting a better catcher, but I'm okay with Rhodes. I would not be opposed to doing something. But we'll just see how everything plays out. But at least we know we've got our guys right now, and we don't have to do anything else. We could, but we don't have to. So we've got... Okay, there goes Beavis Ortiz. The heaters. So still got some solid players who are available. Just want to take a look at the pitchers right now. Lee is available. 35 years old, not great. Never pitched. Okay, that's interesting. Oswald just doesn't look amazing. Kind of looks like Cannon. Throws hard, accurate, not great junk. Numbers are really good, though. Unlike Cannon. But Kyra Lee, 35 years old. Do we make this move for Rhiannon Cannon? Again, we'd be saving some money, technically upgrading position, going from a B+ to an A-. We would lose 3 velocity, upgrade 2 accuracy, and a lot in junk. We are losing the elite fastball trait, but Cannon's fastball is just not that good. Honestly, I think we might make that move. Or, see, I would not hate moving Cannon down in the rotation. And then if she's still terrible at the start of next year, cut her. But I don't want to cut Strikes. He had a good year. I'm not moving off from Cut Stiff. She's been good. Farmhand's got potential. And I don't want to make a move in the bullpen. Although we could move Cut Stiff to the bullpen. But the problem is that choker trait. She's terrible in high-pressure situations, so not a great trait for a reliever to have. So we don't want to do that. But you know what? We're going to do this. Rhiannon Cannon was so bad. She's off the team. Kyra Lee is on the team. And we've got more money. So we do that. And Cannon is, still a good player. And she comes in wanting $23 million. Not getting that. But let's just see the way the rest of this plays out. And right now we've got $8.8 million left over. Would give us 275,000 development funds per game, which I think would definitely help us. Oh, Stallion Johnson to the Joyriders for $7.2 million, close to what his salary was last year. don't really need to scroll through all of these every single time. Well, I do just want to see if any players are still really good available or something like that. Let's just see who some of the best available are. Wissell is still available, but still asking for quite a bit of money. George Brett is available. We don't need a third baseman. I mean, I honestly think our team is pretty solid at the moment. Like, our pitching looks really good. Could our lineup be better? Definitely. But I think we're in a good spot. George Brett to the Heaters. Nora Holmes to the Heaters as well. And Lancaster to the Heaters. They getting active. Reardon is down to $7.9 million after no transactions made in round 20. Couple transactions in round 21. Dwight Evans goes to Salteeth. Steamboat Wissell goes to the Jacks. Thankfully not a division rival. Wiggles Freeman gets released, the former Moose franchise player. So far, nothing looks too crazy. Oh, Reardon goes to the Memo Tanks at age 41. Best available player right now is Joffrey Rockman, another former Moose pitcher. Never actually pitched for us, but was on our team at the start of Moose franchise. Cannon's very quickly gone down to $12.8 million asking salary. But I think we're just going to continue to sim here. It doesn't really seem like anything too crazy is happening. I mean, obviously teams are making moves, but it's the offseason, that's going to happen. There goes Joffrey Rockman at the Jacks. But just going to continue to sim here. No transactions around 25, 26. Weather's asking salary goes down. Again. So we've made it to the final round of the offseason. Now we got another decision to make here. Flash Weather is asking for $3.1 million. Do we make the move to save even more money and get him for Adoyo? He's a better fielder, got the same arm, -5 speed, more power, not as good contact. I think I like Adoyo a little bit better here, but wouldn't hate either. But I think that's what the team's going to look like as we go into Season 3. We're going to end the offseason here, and we will go to Season number 3. We go to Season 3 with $8.8 million left on the payroll, so we can get 275,000 development funds per game, which is quite a bit, considering last year we were at like 100,000. We've got development opportunities right now, so I'm glad we're going to be able to develop some of these players a little bit more. Don't think we're doing any of these right now, but just wanted to take a look at that. And Cannon's still a free agent. Wow. Can't imagine she'll stay there for very long, but she is still available. Let's just keep an eye on her. In case one of our pitchers is terrible, we'll keep an eye on her. Hanzo Magiko still available at $5.2 million. Keep an eye on him as well. And Weather at $3.1 mil. But I think that's what the team's going to look like in Season 3. As far as the lineup goes, I think we're going to try Kingsley Jones leadoff again. If that doesn't work, I'm not going to hesitate to make the move. But I think it's going to be pretty similar to what it was. except Nixon's going to catch. I think that's what our lineup's going to look like, and then our... Is this our suggested lineup as well? I just want to see what the computer suggests. Okay, that is exactly what the computer suggests. One of the things we're going to put Nixon in. And then the no DH lineup is pretty much the same, just with no Quaker. But, yeah, that's what the team's going to look like here. In Season 3. We'll sim the first 5 games of Season 3. And we'll kick off the season against the Nemesis. And that will be next video. But thank you guys for watching the offseason. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys think we did a good job. If there's a player still available you think we should go get, let me know in the comments down below. Or if there's something different you would have done. And I'd love to hear your feedback. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Be sure to check out my main channel, Super Sports Central. Link in the description of the video. But that's all for this video. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you next video.